Hello and welcome to the fourth season of What's in a Story. And a big thanks to all the listeners, as it's all because of you that this podcast enters into its second year. I am Lopamudra Moitro, and in my podcast, I read the stories from my books as an anthropologist, writer, and translator working with popular culture and heritage of India and South Asia. And I introduce each story with some additional information from different fields of history, archaeology, geology, and others, which helps to bring a context to the story. I would like to add here that understanding this context is supremely important, as most of these stories from folklore took shape across several centuries and over a vast period of time. Many features were added to the narratives in this time period. Thus, before taking these stories as historical proof, one should be careful enough to understand the historical context as well as socio-cultural, religious, political context of the stories mentioned within each story. Across the last year, at most unusual places, it was nice to have met people coming up to me and speaking about the many stories that I have narrated across the last 1 year, and how they really like the stories as well as the books, my books from which I read them. The experience has not only been enriching but also greatly rewarding. I never thought it would be reaching out to so many people around the world. What began as a small individual effort in last year May in 2025. Presently, and thanks to all the listeners, this podcast reaches across 11 countries of the world, and according to the present available listeners data, this includes a part from India, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Germany, UK, Russia, Austria, Brazil, Singapore, Poland, and the USA. This in itself is a huge achievement, and I sincerely thank each and every listener from the core of my heart. Now, a little bit about the fourth season. In this season, I would like to share some very interesting narratives that I came across about teachers. And by that, I would like to travel outside the domains of school walls and explore a larger area where a person, of course, who teaches in an educational institution is of course a teacher, but also one who motivates, encourages, helps to organize your random thoughts, mentors you in difficult times, or simply inspires you to move ahead in spite of all adversities. A teacher thus transgresses any narrow definition and encompasses all of these and perhaps a lot more. While collecting these stories, each experience has been deeply heartening, and as we begin the second year of this podcast, this is a dedication to the many unsung heroes of our lives, the teachers. About the story. The title of today's story is Messages Through Wall Art, and I read this from my book, The Owl Delivered the Good News All Night Long, Folktales, Legends and Modern Lore of India by Aleph Book Company. The story from Assam is about a very different kind of a teacher who literally took education beyond the walls and literally using walls as well as a medium to spread knowledge and awareness, especially about the region as well as the environment. This is the story of environmentalist Kiran Gogoi from Assam. The story was translated by myself and it was narrated to me by Rishi Raj Sharma from Assam. I thank Rishi Raj Sharma for this narration about Kiran Gogoi, a well-known environmentalist in Assam, not having received any formal education in environmental studies. He was always driven by a passion to contribute towards nature and his beloved region. This made him reach beyond the classrooms and finally connect with the students at large and spread the well-loved message about conservation and preservation of the nature around us. Follows the story Messages Through Wall Art. The story Messages Through Wall Art. The message goes as: Earth, beautiful earth, and out of this is my motherland, Assam. Eternally blissful Assam, full of wide-ranging species of plants and animals, is my Assam. If we humans are the most superior beings, we must save this ailing Mother Earth and Assam. Thus went a narration as part of an early morning session in a primary school in Assam by Kiran Gogoi, who originally hails from Chabua town in Upper Assam. Gogoi's classes have always been attended by students as well as teachers. The children stand in queue and their teachers stand close to them. All listen in rapt attention to Gogoi. The children even touch the ground with their fingers, followed by their forehead in an act of paying obeisance to Mother Nature. Kiran Gogoi Special Classes has always been bearing the responsibility to show respect towards Mother Nature and be thankful for what it unconditionally bestows upon us. Gogoi was formerly employed as a teacher at a private school and was always enamored of the natural beauty of Assam. Unfortunately, his school shut down due to lack of financial assistance at a point in the past. It was at this time that Gogoi decided to devote a considerable amount of time to his true love, nature. Being also inspired by the songs of the famous Assamese singer, the late Bhupen Hazarika, Gogoi always felt a deep sense of closeness and association with the natural beauty of Assam and the mighty Brahmaputra river. Inspired through the magical touches of verdant Assam, Gogoi's passion took shape in 1994 through the initiation of his NGO, Boichitro Dharitri. It began with the vision of highlighting aspects of nature among school children and spreading awareness about safeguarding the environment. Initially, his special classes in various schools aimed at teaching children through impromptu poetry on environment. However, this story is about Gogoi's very innovative attempt of disseminating his vital messages through wall art and writings. Gogoi writes in Assamese on walls using limestone powder boiled into a paste in water. He started this even when he was a school teacher, though it was limited in nature. Gradually, over the years, it became an important method of mass communication. He was often seen to carry a small earthen pot with a mixture of limestone paste and a small brush. He used to dip the brush and create messages and art pertaining to nature on several walls. This is Gogoi's attempt to reach out beyond the school premises. So, his work had incorporated over 1,000 writings on walls across various regions of Assam, including both big and small towns and cities, and also various districts like Guwahati, Kokrajhar, Dhubri, Silchar, Dibrugarh, Nagaon, Murigaon, Tezpur, Kaziranga, Jorhat, Shivsagar, Golaghat, Tinsukia, and many others. One could even see him write his messages on walls even on very hot and humid or scorching days of the summer months. Sometimes when Gogoi worked continuously at a stretch for 4 to 5 days without any protection or gloves, the limestone used to cause bruises and burns on his hands, and he would end up always with bleeding palms and fingers. However, the love for nature has always been an inspiration for Gogoi, and he kept going. Gogoi's diligent efforts paid off. There are various organizations that have offered to help him in his tree plantation drives by providing free saplings. He successfully also managed to reach out to places beyond Upper Assam and communicate with a cross-section of people from across the state of Assam. He has been also invited to various environmental programs and workshops, and he conducted, and it is said at the time when this story was written for this book in 2020, Gogoi had conducted more than 9,000 meetings in schools to create awareness amongst the students on how to conserve and preserve nature. A silent worker, Gogoi's wall art leaves behind important messages such as, and I read out some of the messages here. With knowledge, nature will survive. This is nature-loving Assam. You are the wonderful earth and we are your sons. Rhino killing is a world sorrow. Different species of plants and animals are a treasure. Will alcohol stop consuming humans? The sons of earth may live long.